Today really was an exceptional day. We did the weather report and we tried to take advantage of the best part of the day. It started out being really cold. It warmed up around noon. We wanted to get the part for Joe prepped and get a coat of clear on that so we could see the color match, shiny versus shiny. Get his approval on it before we got the decals installed and then did the final clear. And as long as we were out there freezing and shooting clear, I thought I could get two for the price of one. I could get the clear on my wheel, the final clear, and get that put aside for a few days to dry. The way the day played out, I had no idea because we had some errands to do in the course of the day. But by the end of the day, and a lot of times I always like to look at what really matters is the end of the day, because you don't win a baseball game in the third inning, you win it in the ninth inning. So when this day ended at the bottom of the ninth, we had the wheel in final clear and Joe's part with enough clear on it that we'll be able to do the decals as the next step, and it just turned out perfect. Well, today looks like the day that we waited for a long time. I got the clear from Joe yesterday. The wheel is prepped and ready to go. And the biggest thing today, I want to get a coat of clear on the red so that we can then take some of the tinfoil off and do a color match. And we're really anxious. I got up super early this morning. I'm kind of playing this day backwards because the weather is supposed to be above freezing by noontime and no chance of snow. And then the next 3 days, good chance of snow. So this may be my last window of opportunity to get some painting done. I don't know. Every day we're slaves to the weather. So what happened, we ran out of our 5-star in Gavco and we wanted to use this, so this is going to give me a chance to do two things. Kind of a two for the price of one. If I mix one batch up, I can get the final coat of clear on the wheel and what'll be the first coat on the red. And if I can get both of those sprayed out this afternoon without any problem with the weather, I am going to be really happy and glad that I got up early today. The primed repaired areas look like they're perfect. Now this is going to be a whole nother job for another day. I'm not going to even try to do anything on that today. I've got to sand that, wet sand, blend that in, move the tape down. This is going to get to be involved, and even if we finished it, it wouldn't make any difference. The decals just left Australia yesterday. That's funny that the decals are coming. The Italian decals are coming from Australia. We got the other disc ready. Well, we have what is the real rare disc that belongs on a wheel, and the one Dallas suggested we use the lightweight one. And I'm happy that Dallas, he's got an extra set of wheels for his GS. He's going to be making up a set of wheels. I hope he'll send us some pictures to share. And that is a good tip. This thing is a lot heavier than this one, and I'm sure we're not racing anybody or anything, but no point carrying around those extra pounds, that's for sure. And that's a good tip, and thank you, Dallas. As soon as all the clear is dried up on the wheel, we'll be doing the curvy girl. We got the tires already in-house. In fact, actually, we got everything in-house for this job. And I always like having all my parts and supplies in-house so I can start whenever I feel like it or whenever the weather, because I'm a slave to the weather, it dictates what I can do every day. We got 4 tires to mount. When I got up this morning, it was 16. It's already 21 and going to 32, going to 30. 30. Well, if it goes above freezing, we'll be able to paint. If not, well, it's going to be pretty tentative. Now, just so everybody knows, this time of year, of course, we're slaves to the weather. And I normally would come out here first thing in the morning and flip my battery chargers and get everything charged up, go chop the ice. It was so cold this morning, I didn't come out for about an hour. I was like a prisoner inside. But I did check the weather, and it is going to go to about 30. Karen's phone says 35. Your buddy's weatherman, I'm not sure they know any more than I do. But what I'm going to do is, and it's a good tip, it's something maybe you can use. When I get up and it's really cold and I have to paint, I'll usually ask Karen if she has errands to do, and she does. We have some places to go. Well, we'll do them in the morning because after 11, 12 o'clock, it's going to be a few degrees warmer. And right now, I'll take every degree I can get. It'll be to our advantage to wait today, wait to stay out until what I hope is the perfect time, which probably will be from 12 to 1, to actually spray to clear. That's kind of a critical thing. At 21 degrees, you almost can't keep your hand on the spray gun. I've done it before, and the paint takes forever to dry. At 32, I don't have any problems. So I think we're just going to kind of nurse this day out, but I'm really hoping we can get this done today. Now, it's always been my experience, as the day goes on and as the air warms up, even as a modeler I knew this, as a painter, as the temperature comes up, there's more and more chance we're going to have to deal with some wind or maybe a lot of wind, I don't know. But that's the price we're going to have to pay, because I really do want it to get to be above freezing. The one fairing, I want to put one coat of clear on it, because what I want to do is I want to see if that color matches perfect before we put the decals. And they're supposed to be coming from Australia. That's unbelievable, they're coming from Australia. But anyway, if I get that, the wheel is ready for what will be the final clear. That will be the last coat of clear, so that'll be a coat of clear. I'll spend a half hour, 45 minutes babysitting, spinning the wheel. Come out here, if it's really, really cold, I can warm it a little bit with a hairdryer. It's difficult. It's not impossible to work in these conditions. It's just difficult. It takes a little, and I hope there's some tips you can pick up off the video, especially with Dallas wanting to paint a set of wheels. You know, I know he's got a similar bike. His is an 83, and I know he has the passion for this, and we have a lot in common. We both owned airplanes, we both own GS's, and I think we both like custom wheels. And when it goes into the teens overnight, this is what happens. You keep up with this during the night. Once that ice is all chopped, oh boy, it is going to be such a good thing to get in there and have the coffee. All the battery tenders are cooking away here. I am really ready to get inside. It's time, the best time of the morning. Coffee and feed my birds. Now, because of the snow and because of the possibility of wind, I'm going to try to use the table up against the house today for shooting my clear, but it looks like it's clearing up, but it's sure not getting warmer in a hurry. Man, I can't wait to get inside. And I always think people who live in a warm weather climate never get to taste that cup of coffee right there. You're lucky you don't need to drink that coffee. And you think my birds care about coffee? Fill the seeds up, Wendy. I see we got some extra bread we put out there today. Oh, these birds. In this cold weather, I wonder how they survive. Now, because this part's been sitting for a few days, I wanted to take some prep wool and do a final wipe down. This will never hurt. You never can do this. You can never overdo this part of it. And I don't want to have gloves on when I do it. I want to have just bare hands. And I'll do both parts, because what's going to happen, Karen wants to go out, and we made a good corporate decision here to go do our errands this morning. That was a great thing to do. We're going to go do that right now, and this will give this plenty of time to warm up before we actually get to do this. But I'll be thinking about how that weather is going to play out today. Boy, oh boy. If it stays sunny, that's to our advantage. If the wind is minimum, that's to our advantage. And any increase in temperature now will be to our advantage. It's just coming up on 30 degrees right now, and I hope it just keep coming. Now I have the gun tip that's been sitting in acetone, so it should be pretty clean, we hope. We always spray a little bit of the table. That's how the table got so attractive. Anyway, with that on, I can mix this up, and always having new material. We've used this before. We've used Gavco. We've used 5-Star. They all work well. And the last time I painted Luciano's tank, we used this brand, and it worked really well in cold weather. So that was one of the features that I really liked, to be honest. So we're going to mix our paint and get out there. And so far, so good. While we were out doing errands, it looked like it warmed up a bit. I'm not sure how much. We're certainly going to find out. Well, it's just coming up on above freezing now. So a key part of this is how I'm going to jig the part up. And I want to jig up the fairing side first and get it into the garage. I don't want to take any chances that we're going to have any raindrops or icicles fall on it. Final tack rag down. And at least we got one thing in our favor. There's not a lot of wind. That's a big thing too. So I think we're going to luck out on this. I hope so. And what this is going to do, once this clear dries, it's going to allow us to see exactly what the color match is. Get the okay from Joe before we do the decals. It should work out great. So waiting for the warmest part of the day, which we managed to use the warmest part, which was right around freezing. And had I waited any longer, it would have gotten colder. If I did it earlier, it would have been colder. So we managed to get this done at about 32 degrees. Now, when it's 32 degrees, I like to put light coats on. The one thing you never want to do on a really cold day is just put a big, wet, sloppy coat on, because what happens in cold weather, it takes longer to dry. It's more prone to run. One of the things does happen when you let it dry in this really cold weather, it dries with an extremely nice high gloss. So you trade one end for the other end, but in the end, all this is doing so we can get a color match for Joe. I finished this off with a dry coat. This is really the second coat, but these are dry, very thin coats. And I wanted to see I just really want to see the color match, of course. And I wanted it to go on so when we put the decals on, we don't have any orange peel. I don't want to have to deal with the decal not laying perfectly flat. And those decals, believe me, coming from Australia, that's unbelievable. Well, we have taken advantage of, I think, an exceptional day to get this done. The wind is minimized. Not a whole lot of wind, but you can see the paint's just laying down beautifully here. We're just above freezing right now. It's just about, this is about as cold as I've been comfortable painting. But we did manage to get, we got 2 light coats on that. Looking around, I don't see the sun coming out. I'd say that's mission accomplished. Get that into the garage where it can dry. Okay, that's the first half of the day. Now we're going to do the final wipe down of the wheel. Oh boy, are we lucky today. You never know when a day starts, if it's your lucky day, unlucky day. Now, what this is going to allow us to do is, when this is totally dry, is take the parts out in the sun and see if we have a good color match. And if we do, and the decals get here, we're ready to go to the next step. And of course, that's put the decals on and then more clear. So again, all these are in fast forward, just so we don't have a video that bores you too much. You're probably bored anyway, so I'm bored. What am I talking about? Oh, anyway, to spray a wheel, it is very, very meticulous. I try not to miss any spots. I try not to get any runs, of course, or any problems with it. Now, in cold weather, the secret is spray very light coats. Don't be tempted to turn up the pressure and blow on a big wet coat. What I try to do is just minimum pressure so it'll spray out nice. Go over it over and over and over again, as opposed to in warm weather you can just blow on a wet coat. And the final result is, if I babysit it enough, I can almost guarantee when I'm done with this, it'll have a super high gloss and very, very minimum chance I'll have any run. Now, I'm not really sure you can see how nice that paint laid down in the cold temperatures. And we've got half of it done, but we want to babysit this. I don't want to get any chance that any icicles fall in it or anything. I think we are really, really in good shape. In a minute or two, I'll just take a break and get the other side of the wheel done. Oh boy, we are lucking out here, and I was hoping the sun would come out. I guess it ain't coming out, but I'll settle for what I got right now. Right about now, I'm thinking this is a good time to shut the video camera off, just in case I drop it. Now, as I'm doing the second side here, it is very, very detail oriented, getting in all those little nooks and crannies. It's like painting a snowflake wheel is like a waffle, and You just got to be really patient about getting in and see all the spokes, all the edges, all the corners. But the beauty of a snowflake type wheel is when you're done, you've got a diamond that sparkles. And some of the high-end bikes have some really beautifully detailed wheels. We're going to try to match it. Now, in the case of the wheel, if we had some sunlight, I think you'd see just how nice that light is reflecting off the bars. And that's the whole idea, the beauty of a snowflake wheel. It has those flashes of light as the bars go through the sunlight. I think this just went as good as it possibly could be. Now, both of these things are going to have to dry out in the garage in this cold temperature overnight. And I'll be very, very happy to see them dry in the morning. Now, just a question of babysitting it until that paint packs out. When you have a wheel, it's a good idea. Just keep it spinning slow like this. And in 10-15 minutes, you avoid any chance there's going to be a run in it. Or most of them, anyway. Even a hub came out great on this. I'm not sure you can see it because it's a cloudy day. So we really did make some progress today, and this really is a giant step for mankind here. Wow, that came out nice. Now, I couldn't be happier that I waited for this day. Even though this day was not perfect, it was good enough. Certainly good enough. And we've got a beautiful coat of clear on the red. We can see what that color is going to look like and then decide on the decals. And we've got this clear on. And I will let this sit 2 or 3 days, mount the tire, mount the Curvy Girl, and mount the disc, and couldn't be better. I'm pretty happy with it. Anyway, I want to thank the healthcare workers. Boy, oh boy. In times like this, I appreciate all the stuff you guys do. It's most appreciated. And I hope everybody out there that's restoring old bikes or painting models or enjoys my channel, hey, it's all free, guys. It's all free. Enjoy it, share it, and I hope you have the same passion that I have for doing this kind of work. It's a lost art. When we die out, there'll probably be nobody taking our place. They'll be playing computer games. But in the meantime, until we die out, there's going to be B29s and beautiful wheels. And thanks for watching. So just think about it again. No B29s, no beautiful wheels. We're going to have B29s and we're going to have beautiful wheels. And go watch that movie Frozen in Time again. That'll inspire you to do something. Anyway, but I'm not sure what. Anyway, I hope you guys really, again, enjoyed the video. We try to end on a positive note. The positive note is snow is coming the next couple of days. So thanks so much, guys, for watching.